just had some Red Bull. You're already punching yourself.
It only takes one.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, welcome. This is It Came From Theater 7, movie reviews news podcast. I am your host, Scott Zielinski. I am joined today by the, high Chelsea Wolf.
I'm not high.
You might as well be.
You're high on caffeine.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, she just had a Red Bull for like the first time.
Two sips.
2 sips for the first time, so she's wired.
No, I'm not.
We are also joined today, of course, by Tyler Taylor. How's it going?
Tired.
Yeah.
Tired Tyler Taylor.
You're not the
Oh,
first
shit.
or the last.
Is that going to be your rap name?
Tired Tyler Taylor.
Darius called me Tyler the Creator.
Ah!
That's taken already.
I'm aware.
What am I saying? I don't know.
I don't
There's
know.
a lot of dead air right here.
Wow, awkward.
So, you guys see any good things lately? One, I'll just bring it up right now. The Netflix series, The Haunting of Hill House, is something that is out now, and I would totally recommend watching it. I only just finished the first episode, and I'm like itching to watch the rest of them. Tyler, when did you start it?
Yesterday.
You finished it already?
No, I'm up to episode 8.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. I'm not even that hardcore.
Oh, like I said, I stayed up until 4:30 in the morning watching it.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's so good. It's from Mike Flanagan, who he directed Oculus, Hush, Gerald's Game, and Ouija 2, Origin of Evil, which is actually, don't judge it just because it's a sequel. It's actually a really good standalone
Especially because
movie.
I never heard of the original.
Really? It's a really shitty, run-of-the-mill teen horror movie, PG-13, and it's complete garbage. And the one he did is a prequel to the original one, but you don't need to see the original one. So it works on its own, and it's really good. The girl, actually, one of the daughters in Haunting of Hill House is the lead possessed girl in Ouija 2. And she's awesome.
Kid version, adult, or adult?
Kid version.
Okay.
Yeah. She's in Ouija 2. She has a scene where she, a character, like a friend of the family, bumps into her in the middle of the night. She's like, "Oh, Sarah, I didn't see you there. How are you?" She's like, "Good. Do you want to know what it's like to drown be strangled to death?" And she describes what it feels like to be strangled to death. And in the end, she's like, "All right, good night," and then goes away. And the guy's like, "What the fuck?" It's such an awesome scene. That movie's really
Would have
underrated.
been great. She's like, it's breathtaking.
Oh, Jesus. Directed by Michael Bay, maybe.
It's breathtaking. Explosion.
Yeah. Oh, I'm strangling to death. Boom. It should explode. Oh, okay. So you seen anything good lately?
I'm trying to think.
You've fallen asleep during everything we've watched lately. So
Yeah.
yeah, nothing. We got nothing, do we?
I
We're a fun bunch.
watched the new season of Big Mouth.
Yeah.
And it was funny.
Yeah.
I liked it. I can't think
Nice.
of anything, any new movies I've seen.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Sorry.
I also
Yeah,
got
good.
Mindhunter.
Right.
Yes.
Mindhunter. Tyler just saw Mindhunter.
I'm excited
Yes.
for the second season.
Yeah, second season's probably going to be great.
When is that coming out?
Oh, they don't have a release date yet.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's just 2018, so it's sometime in the next 3 months.
Oh, no.
I know. Long wait.
It'll probably be another Daredevil situation where 2 weeks before it comes out, they're like, yeah, it's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I can't
I
wait for
wouldn't mind
Daredevil
it.
season 3. That's you don't care.
I don't care. I care about
But
Mindhunter.
have you seen the Daredevil series?
Yeah, those are the only Netflix shows.
Oh, okay. We'll dive into that when we get to the news because I have there's an article there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Ooh.
about.
Yeah, you do.
Stay tuned.
And I'm so happy about it. I'm reasonably happy about it. Okay. All right. Let's dive into reviews.
Diving into reviews.
You always have to get the last word, don't you?
Maybe.
Attack of the Critic.
Gareth Evans, director of the Safe Haven segment of VHS2, and more notably, 2 of some of the best action movies ever made, The Raid 1 and 2, takes another dip into the horror genre with his Wicker Man meets the Sacrament mashup Apostle.
Ooh.
It's 1905, and Dan Stevens of Downton Abbey and The Guest stars as Thomas, a faithless man on a dangerous mission to rescue his sister from a sinister religious cult on an isolated island. As he gets closer to finding his sister, he gets dragged deeper and deeper into the bizarre supernatural truth behind the workings of this mysterious and horrible community where it seems like getting stabbed multiple times is a prerequisite.
Wow.
Yeah.
Intense.
Yeah.
Feel-good movie.
So it's very much like Wicker Man, Sacrament type of movie, like a Sacrament without the found footage gimmick.
I love the Sacrament.
Yeah, Sacrament's underrated. I liked it very much. I had no problem staying up late watching this movie. Because I was planning on just putting on Evil Dead 2 and falling asleep, and then I remembered, like, oh, I can watch The Apostle. Or Apostle. And so I put it on, and I was hooked pretty much right away. Dan Stevens is a guy I like a lot. He was on Downton Abbey. He's also on Legion, the TV, is that like an X-Men TV series?
I think so.
I heard about. I heard it's really good, but I haven't seen it. But people might know him from that.
Wasn't he also in the Beauty and the Beast movie?
He was, yeah. He
Wow,
played
that was
Beauty.
really random. I totally just I was like, why does that sound familiar? And then I remember seeing him, and I was like, he's not hot enough to be Beast, and then I was mad.
Well, the only thing I had actually seen him in was The Guest, and I love that movie so much. That's an excellent movie. He's great in it. He's very like intense, but like really likable and charming at the same time. But he can like turn that on a dime and be super sinister. But here he's the protagonist, and he was really good. He was very intense. Like watching him made me nervous the entire time because he looks like he's about to. I think they established that I think he has like an opium addiction or something in the movie because he frequently takes like these drops. I don't know if that's opium. I don't know. It's the 1900s, early 1900s. So he's a very like intense presence in the movie. It's a very good horror movie. One of the better ones that's on Netflix, and Netflix has a lot of shit on it. As far as horror goes.
If you want to watch horror, just watch Hill House.
Yeah. This and Haunting of Hill House were pretty good October releases for them. Yeah, one thing I really liked about this movie was like the creeping sense of dread it has. Like the more he gets involved in this community, and the more you like the routines of the people get like revealed, and it's by them it's very like matter of fact. Like, oh, this is a thing we have to do: bleed into a jar and then leave it outside your door, and like you're like, what the fuck is going on? But it's like normal for all them, and he's just like trying to find his sister, so he's like playing along, and no, it's really good. And anybody who has seen the Raid movies knows that Gareth Evans has some pretty crazy camera work in his movies, and this movie it's not an action movie, but it's very similar in that like it's very kinetic, and it moves a lot in interesting ways. There's a lot of like tilting and rotating the camera, and like and it really, some of the shots are really memorable because the way that, like the camera just like creeps into the scene, and yeah. But the horror stuff I really enjoyed in this. It felt kind of old fashioned in a way. It's when I don't want to give it away, but when they like reveal the supernatural stuff that's happening, it really got turned up like several notches. Because up until then, it's just like, oh, there's something off about this town, but then it just goes on like full on crazy mode, and no, it was really good. Something that immediately jumped out to me with this movie was the music. It was very like minimalist, but it's not minimal. Like a lot of the instruments are like with whatever they use to create the music sounds like it could have been made from stuff that was only available in like the 1900s. There's a lot of like strings and tings on like sounds like someone tinging like on a bowl or something, and like it's very like it's very intense. But yeah, it's a beautiful movie. The cinematography is great. There's a lot of fire, and especially like there's a scene halfway through where they reveal a good bit of Dan Stevens' backstory, and there's like a shitload of fire in the scene. It's a beautiful scene. It's probably the most memorable one in the whole thing. But it's really good. The set design's great. The like the lair where the supernatural stuff takes place is really like it really wowed me, because it's like there's like this, for example, there's like a whole hallway that leads like inside this area, and it's entirely made out of like vines and like wires, and it's very like almost like if Texas Chainsaw was in like the 1900s, like because it's very like dirty. It's an extremely dirty movie. I felt filthy watching it because everybody is covered in like bits of dirt, and the clothes are ratty, and it's very like wet and muddy, and just like
Yeah, but you always feel dirty.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do, especially at night. But
Don't look at me!
I was looking at Rocky.
yeah, she's like, dude, I'm laying in your bed right now. Rocky's my dog. I don't know if that was ever mentioned on this podcast.
Hey, Rocky!
Not some person that lays in my bed.
Rocky's the dwarf.
The dwarf. Rocky sounds like a good name for a dwarf. I don't know why. Is that weird?
A little bit.
You just want to watch a Rocky movie where Rocky Balboa's a dwarf.
Little person.
Wait, so I can't say dwarf? I thought that was like the politically correct term. See, even you don't know. You're shaking your head like you don't know. I don't want to fucking hear it.
I don't want to fucking hear you turning off this podcast.
No, I'm not making fun of... Oh, my God.
I'm making fun of them.
Yeah, Tyler is.
And it's not going to change.
Yeah, direct your hate mail towards Tyler. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed this movie. And the antagonist, the I guess, mortal protagonist of this movie is played by Michael Sheen.
Yeah.
Who's in, he's been in a bunch of stuff. Do you know who he is? I feel like you probably know him. No, he's in Twilight.
That's not Michael Sheen. Isn't Michael Sheen Charlie Sheen's dad?
No, that's Martin Sheen.
Okay.
Michael Sheen is...
Yeah, Michael Sheen's the one with the high-pitched laugh.
Yeah, from Twilight. You've seen them.
I didn't see that one.
It's the last one. And
yeah, you showed me that clip. I just didn't...
That guy.
Yeah,
that's
I didn't
Michael
watch
Sheen.
that. Okay, I don't care.
He's a gift.
Yeah. He's actually a really good actor. But in this, he starts out as kind of like the Jim Jones type. So you're like, oh, that's the guy I'm supposed to hate. But as it goes on, sides are revealed to his character, and he becomes more sympathetic. And because he, like, at his core... Rocky's fast asleep. At his core, like, you can tell he, like, wants to change, and he doesn't have the stomach for the violent stuff. And that's really, really cool to have a villain that's like three-dimensional like that.
I should watch this. I really want to watch this now.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been asleep, I guess.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. It's really awesome. Especially as a horror fan, I really appreciated these certain aspects of it, like the set. Like as I was saying about the set design, there are a couple like torture devices in this movie.
Ooh.
That are, as soon as they appeared, I'm like, ooh, I got settled in, and like there's like a this like kind of rack that they put a person in, and there's like a vice for every limb, like both legs, both arms, and the head, and then there's like this drill thing that they aim at the head, and then and it's I don't want to give it away, but
Wow.
It's not like the one from Saw.
Which one?
The one where they twist all 5 limbs.
Yeah, that's where I was expecting them to go with it. I thought they were gonna tighten the grip on every single one of them and like just wreck each of his legs and arms, and then the head or something like that.
That in Saw that looked hilarious.
That made me ill.
Which Saw
that was
was
Saw
that?
3.
Oh, 3.
I'm trying to
The
remember.
black guy up standing in the big thing, and he's got the thing around his head, and it goes like kink, kink.
Oh,
kink,
yeah,
kink.
I remember that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like it twists his leg until his shin just like splinters out of his skin.
I laughed my ass off.
I can't. Saw 3, especially the part with the pig guts.
That's another thing.
I'm
That
barely
really
remembering Saw
made me
3.
gag. That was one of those times where I got really close to throwing up during the movie. I've never thrown up during a movie, but that got me close.
Hill House. Sorry, it's gonna keep going back to it as long
Yeah.
as you talk about horror.
Blah,
It gave me a
blah,
new thing to be
blah,
scared
blah,
of.
blah, blah.
I can't hear.
I'm trying not to hear. I'm trying not to hear.
I'm not-
He's not going to spoil anything.
Okay.
Especially because he's not even done episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gave me something else to be scared of.
Yeah.
And I won't say what.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to start it.
It's so good.
You don't see what it is until episode 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
I'm scared.
I
Can you
can't-
watch it with
I can't
me,
wait to watch
Star?
more of it. Yes.
I'm scared.
I
I'm
watched
going
it
back
at...
through it again once I'm done it.
Yeah. That's... Not to go back to this, but when I first watched it, it was noon, and I was about to go into work, and all the shutter shades were up, and it's full daylight in here, and I'm like looking in the corners, like, oh shit, like around my house while I'm getting ready, and
Yeah,
like,
it didn't scare me. It's just it found another thing that made me like, oh wow, that's fucked. I can't really look at that.
that's awesome. That's one thing I really like about that show is that like you, at least for me, like I immediately sympathized with the characters, and I liked them.
It took me 3 episodes to learn their names.
That I was having trouble with some of their names going into it because there's a lot of setup in those, like that first episode. They're just like dropping names like left and right. But
part of it's because of they have the setup that I said, where it's
Yeah.
every episode specific. But anyway, back to Apostle.
yeah, yeah. But about Haunting of Hill House.
Oh my god.
No, what I really appreciate about this is that I'm getting so into the characters. So when the scary parts are happening, I'm genuinely frightened for them because I don't want anything to happen to them, and that doesn't happen a lot in horror.
Okay, that was one of my issues with it so far. Is it does the same thing as the original It, where it's flashing back to the present.
Oh yeah.
So like, there's no chance where like these kids are gonna get fucked up because it's like, well, no, I've seen where they end up.
Yeah, because
Granted, they don't end
eventually.
up in great places.
Right. Yeah. But even still, like, I guess because I insert myself into those scenes sometimes. Oh, so good. Oh, anyway, Apostle. So yeah, if you want a pretty excellent horror movie, I should say that there are some flaws I had. The characters, aside from Dan Stevens and Michael Sheen, are kind of they're memorable in that you remember what they looked like and what they did, but they weren't very complex or deep characters. I don't remember any of their names. But they were likable enough, and even some of the douchebags, like that, I ended up really hating the one guy, and I didn't want. This one guy does something and you're hoping the Hollywood tropes will kick in, and that someone will come in at the last minute and make things okay, and you're like, no, shit sucks, and I had a hard time liking Dan Stevens right away. They don't give you much on his character because it starts off it hits the ground running pretty much, and you don't get a lot from his character. He's there by himself basically, so he doesn't, and he's trying to maintain this secret that he's like a spy, looking for his sister, and if he gets found out, he'll get killed. So he doesn't say a whole lot. He talks to a couple people, and one or two people figure out his secret, but that doesn't have much of a bearing on any. And there are no kind of consequences really that come from that. So certain things are picked up and then dropped off, and for no reason. So that is an issue I had. And as I said, Dan Stevens, had a hard time getting into his character. But then halfway through, they drop some big knowledge about his character, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I know more where he's coming from, and but it comes a little too late. But having said that, I really enjoyed the story, and it was unique. They used all familiar elements, but they used them to create something different, and it was. I really like the directions the story took. So yeah, I really enjoyed this a lot. I would definitely check it out, especially if you're a fan of the Raid movies. It's from the same director, so I can't see why you wouldn't like this one. So I would have to give it 8 brain augers out of 10. Which also
awesome
brain augers would be a great band name.
Yeah.
Future band name. I'm calling it right now.
Let's see.
I don't. I can sing. I have the voice.
Yeah,
of
with
a
the
lizard.
What was that? The
What?
face you made as you said that.
Because
He felt gross.
I was about to talk up my singing abilities, but then I realized I suck.
No,
So
he's such a good singer.
Oh, shut up.
You're such a good singer.
You'd fail a song in Rock Band. Where literally all they're looking for is the pitch.
Yeah, just you could just go, oh.
We used to do that.
Yeah, you don't even have to sing the words.
Well, because I played it when I was
that word wrong.
12, so
Yeah.
I couldn't get drunk. So I couldn't.
I mean, you could, but it would be really fucked up for
My
you to do
dad's a
that.
cop.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Or that would be super fucked up.
All right,
Tyler?
Goosebumps 2?
I'll make it really quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not as good as the first one. They had one good line.
Oh, you told...
Yeah,
yeah.
I genuinely love that.
What's
It's
the line? Can you say it?
You can say it now
without
and
spoiling
I'll take it out.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't even matter because they show it in the fucking trailer.
Do
They don't
they?
show the actual scene, but they show... The movie's written like a Goosebumps book. It progresses exactly like one. Jack Black gets to the town, and he gets out of his car, and everything's going to shit. And it's supposed to be his first book is coming to life, like the unreleased one.
Hmm.
Which, by the way, now that I think about it, doesn't make sense because it has the characters from all the books after that one.
Oh,
okay.
That
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Yeah, I didn't think about that until right now, but...
That's like a very... as soon as you come up with that idea, you should be like, oh, wait, that doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah, because they have... The plot is Slappy the puppet is bringing all the other things to life, and that's apparently what the plot of the book is.
Oh.
So, unless Slappy...
He based those future books on the things he introduced in the first book.
I guess. It's not even a complete book. That's the plot.
The fuck?
But, anyway, the two things where he gets to the town and he's like, wow, my ideas were cliche back then. Because he sees it's just a bunch of like skeletons and zombies and all that
Goblins
shit.
and ghouls.
But then the camera pans over and you see a red balloon on top of a sewer grate, and he's like, "I knew I did that first."
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, solid. If you had a kid, like 7.
Nice.
Otherwise, like 6.
Okay.
Jack Black is completely an afterthought.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it seemed like. That he was probably too busy shooting House of the Clock and Balls, and and so he took like a day off and like, all right, I'll go do a scene. in
Not
Goosebumps
even
2.
a day off. Because like the entire movie, it's cutting to him in his house. Well, no, the first time you see him, it's him in his house. You don't see him. You just see his hand clicking the answering machine.
Oh, so it might not even have been Jack. Like it was a stand-in, just like.
And then he leaves, and then you see him a second time, and he's driving to the town, and it shows his signs like New York. And then the third time he gets to the town, and he gets out of his car, he says those lines, and then you don't see him again until like the climax of the movie.
Oh wow,
Huh.
jeez. The trailer, I thought it was going to be direct to DVD because Jack Black
That
wasn't
seems
in the
okay.
trailer, and I thought like, oh, this is like a cheap sequel.
That was the other thing. The CG looks like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, bad.
Like the first one genuinely doesn't look this bad.
Yeah.
The first one has like a special place in my heart because it's the first movie I saw while working at our theater.
So nostalgia reasons you.
Yeah, that and I liked Goosebumps growing up.
Yeah.
It's children's horror.
So would you you would recommend it for someone who just like they like the first one, so they want to see the second one? So just like it's not a waste of time. Like if you like the first one.
It's like I said, it's not as good as the first one, but it's not terrible. Like it could have been so much worse.
Yeah.
Bad times.
All right. So yeah, Drew Goddard, director of Cabin in the Woods and Cloverfield, brings us the Diet Tarantino character-driven crime mystery Bad Times at the El Royale. 7 strangers, each with their own dark secrets, all collide on one fateful night at Lake Tahoe's El Royale Hotel. Cool criminals say cool things, secrets are unearthed, violence erupts unexpectedly, and Chris Hemsworth continues having trouble finding shirts with buttons at work.
Thank God. I love you. I'm sorry.
So, Bad Times, the El Royale. What'd you guys think?
It was a great time.
At the El Royale.
I had the bad times with that one. It was a great time.
I had a great time at the El Royale, I'll tell you that.
I had to.
So you really liked it.
I really had a lot of fun while watching it. And I think it's really funny that you say, like, boiled, however you said it, like Tarantino. Because when we were watching it, I'm like, this is reminding me of Tarantino. However, it's like the Tarantino light, you know?
One shot reminded me of Tarantino.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the shooting part.
Oh.
The way that it was so like over the top was the only time where I was like,
Oh, okay.
That's Tarantino.
Oh, yeah, like the crazy,
It's like one shotgun shell and it's just totally fucks up that entire wall.
Right, yeah. It is, it gets pretty crazy towards the end, and it's...
No, that's the middle.
Oh, I see what
yeah.
part you mean. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Because it was like, it was so over the top. However, at the same time, it was kind
measured.
of like balanced with
Yeah.
other stuff.
It wasn't constantly over... It wasn't an action movie. Like, there are shootings and death and stuff, but it's like... It's well-paced.
Oh,
and
totally.
it's like...
Yeah.
So I say Diet Tarantino because it has a very similar structure to a lot of his movies, that like that kind of non-linear chapter storytelling device.
Yeah.
And like multiple cool characters, and like this movie's very character driven. Like people were complaining afterwards that like there wasn't enough plot or whatever,
because
but
people
it's
were also drunk and talking the whole movie.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But it's like the point of the movie isn't to have like, it's not supposed to have like this complex over the convoluted plot. It's about these characters all coming together, on this one night, and just how their lives are affected, and their characters all like they're all trying to seek redemption of some kind, and they're all colliding. You get to see how these characters deal with that, and they're all very unique. Every single one of them is really unique. I loved everybody in this movie. The cast was awesome. But the movie has kind of like it reminded me of Rashomon, which is
I don't know.
it's an old Japanese film from Akira Kurosawa.
We could have talked about that earlier too. How so?
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, we could have. Maybe. Well, maybe. But in Rashomon, it's the story centers around this one important event, and the whole thing is told from the perspectives of these three other characters, and they each tell their side of the story, and each side is different from the other, and details are different between them, and like parts of overlap, whatever. But this movie's similar in that like you see this whole evening play out from like different characters' perspectives, and then it eventually gets caught up, and then eventually they all collide, and then it continues after that. So it starts out very like non-linear. You get like the Jeff Bridges story, you get the John Hamm story, you get and
Dakota Johnson.
where they lead up, and Dakota Johnson. Everybody in the movie was so good. I loved Jeff Bridges especially. I liked him very much. I love him as an actor, so I was really looking forward to him to begin with, and I really enjoyed his character. He was more complex than I thought he would be. Everybody in the movie was more complex than I thought they would turn out to be.
Well, that's something to mention. The fact that the advertising shows fuck all about this movie.
Yeah, I was
expecting like New Year's Eve style.
Yeah.
Where like it's just a bunch of celebrities, because that's basically what they're advertising.
It kind of felt that way.
Yeah, kind of like a foul-mouthed, violent Love Actually. But
I like that.
Something that made me really happy about this whole thing was the trailers gave you pretty much nothing. And
one of them is literally just Chris Hemsworth walks up to the building.
Yeah.
And then it shows the logo.
Yeah. I love that was all you were given in the trailers, was just like, here are all these different actors, they're all stuck in one place, and stuff happens. And they didn't spoil anything, and also...
That gamble is turning out not to end up well, though.
The what?
That gamble is not playing out well for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not doing too well, but... That is so annoying because, again, the other thing I really liked about this movie was that it's an original movie in a crowded lineup of sequels and reboots and readaptations and like...
No, I want to see Venom a third time.
No. God. No, we need to make a remake of Venom.
To be fair, at this point, they really should just do a remake of Venom.
Yeah.
But anyway, everything about it felt so original because I think the timing was perfect. It was like, what, mid-60s or something?
Late 60s. It took
Late
place
60s?
in 1969, I believe.
Okay, so like late
like
60s, like you could really just feel like you were there. Like the setting was
the fucking
incredible.
soundtrack in this movie.
The soundtrack,
awesome.
the costuming, like everything like sucked you in.
Yeah.
And I loved where I was.
I was very taken by the world that they made in this movie.
Yeah, and I think my favorite thing was the pacing, and you were talking about it, how it's very non-linear, and like my favorite thing is for like one event to happen and then you show like each person's perspective, and they did that a couple of times, not to the point where it got annoying, but I loved how it very naturally flowed into each other.
I found like that was tedious.
You think so?
I kind of agree. Like I was really enjoying what I was watching, but we kept stopping and then ending at parts that we have seen before, and I wanted to keep going.
Really?
And they were lingering on stuff way too much. Like there's the scene where John Hamm is going through like the wiretaps in his room, and that goes for like, it feels like a solid 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, it definitely does. But I love that scene. I enjoy it very much.
They could have showed him getting the first wiretap, and then start for the second one, and then just quick cut to like the table where there's a bunch of them.
No, I disagree because there was so much fun watching him do it, and like that scene wasn't too long, but it felt a little long because you were like, how many is he gonna get?
Yeah, I liked it because it was a very eerie scene. I mean that is one of the parts that was given to you in the trailer, like the secret hallway thing.
I remember that.
But because you're right there with John Hamm as you like discover the scene, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And he's like walking around,
and
observing
he
the
just
different rooms.
doing it, yeah.
And you're kind of trying. Meanwhile, you're trying to figure out what John Hamm's end game is in all this and what he's trying to do. And I liked him very much, especially when his character turns and you're like, oh, what's this guy about? And that's how it is with everybody in the movie. You think you know what they're there for, or they're what they want out of this, and but then like things turn and it's not what you expect. So it is a very original movie. It, like Apostle, it uses things that you've seen before in a bunch of movies, like all people trapped in one location together, cool criminals having fun conversations and all that, but it's unique and it's done really well, and I enjoyed the performances so much.
Yeah,
the soundtrack, the the whole vibe of the movie, the atmosphere, the whole and I liked that the pacing was slow, but it wasn't slow to a fault. It was it took its time, and I appreciated just like letting scenes breathe.
Yeah.
Like some shots in this movie lasted a very long time, like the hallway scene. But I didn't get bored or anything.
I totally agree with you.
I wasn't talking about the hallway scene. I was talking about him taking the wiretaps out.
Oh! I thought you were talking about the hallway scene.
No, the hallway scene.
Okay.
Granted, they could have probably cut a couple seconds off that too. But
Yeah.
no, him going through
When
his
he's-
room was like, it felt like they could have shaved some off because isn't this like
No.
almost 2.5 hours?
Yeah, 2 hours and 20.
Yeah,
But it was worth
It-
it.
it's
In my
worth
opinion.
it, but you gotta also look at it from the perspective of like the normal people who just want to go in and like
That's true.
waste an hour or two.
That's the I get the sense that
Taking itself
Peop-
too seriously.
because when we saw it, I could feel people getting antsy,
Well, again, that's because the people behind us were drunk and
Yeah.
talking,
and it was midnight.
and people tend not to be very patient when they're drunk.
Yeah, yeah. This is the kind it looks like a very mainstream movie, but it has a very disciplined pace, and
Yeah.
it's a very kind of old fashioned
Yeah.
kind of movie. It's not a Hollywood blockbuster. Like, it has big names in it, but it's not that kind of movie. And
Which, again, the posters totally don't show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The posters, by the way, were shitty for this.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
when I
some
was
heat on them.
when I was figuring out what posters I was going to put up at the box office for the showtimes. Like, each poster I'm like, I don't like that one. Like, and I don't like that one. And I didn't want to put up any of them, but when I went,
All of them, like, they put a focus on who they got.
yeah,
Because
Yeah.
I have a feeling the studio was like, we don't know how the fuck to advertise this,
Yeah.
guys.
yeah, we
Yeah.
got Thor in this movie. Let's just put him front and center.
Yeah.
Like, even though Chris Hemsworth does not have a very large part in this movie,
No,
No,
he
but he
doesn't
has
have
an
a
amazing part in this movie.
Yeah.
He has a large part, but it's a part that comes late.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
I love that about this. That's another thing I loved about this movie was if this were just like a complete Hollywood cash grab, they would have been like, oh, we got to introduce Chris Hemsworth like a whole hour sooner.
Well,
Yeah.
And
they do intro him.
yeah,
They have the scene on the beach fairly early on,
Mhm.
but they don't have him front and center. Like, they have the sun kind of making it so you can't totally see him,
Mhm.
but like you know his fucking voice.
yeah, yeah. They slowly dole him out, and I liked that.
Me too. I was really into that.
it built up the presence he has later in the movie, where you're
Yeah.
like, who was this fucking guy?
And I think it's really interesting. I just read some trivia before we started, and it was something that I was thinking during the movie of, and I don't want to spoil anything, but you can tell that he has a very ominous presence in this movie.
Mhm.
And, like, that shows very quickly, and I think in general in the trailers, even though you're not getting that much, you can still kind of feel that. But when I was watching it, I'm like, this is very, like, Manson and stuff, and it turns out that they were actually, like, using some imagery and stuff from Manson, and I was like, fuck yeah, I called that, and it was like, it was just so cool because, I don't know, like, he had just such a big presence, and he didn't
Yeah.
have that much time, but the time that he was there, he was stealing the show, at least for me.
Yeah, I've heard people are kind of split on the ending, which we won't spoil here,
Yeah.
but I really liked the ending. Some people
Me
thought
too.
it wasn't what they wanted, but
Mhm.
no, I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
on
know what
a,
they wanted.
Hmm?
I said I don't know what else they want.
yeah,
I know, it's like some people thought it was too like messy. That's the word I've seen thrown around.
I liked it.
I thought it all culminated very satisfyingly.
I agree.
It's because character arcs all got wrapped up like,
I mean-
when they should have.
The one thing
Some are
that
cut
comes
short.
out of nowhere, but other than that,
Mhm.
I guess not.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Me too. You had a really good point yesterday. I think you said it, Scott, and I agree with you. And I think I was like thinking on the same level, and I like didn't fully put it together. But you said that it was basically how you wanted Hotel Artemis to be.
Yeah. Now if you'll remember, it was like episode 2.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Hotel Artemis for what it was. It wasn't a great movie, but it was fun. But it felt like this is what Hotel Artemis should have been. You had a great cast, but they weren't properly utilized, and you didn't get enough out of the characters, and
It was more plot than character. I guess. Is that fair?
it was more. I mean, both movies are very much all about the style,
Yeah.
But Hotel Artemis was only concerned with style and let's get Charlie Day in here and he'll say some goofy shit, and Jeff Goldblum will have a cameo and he'll say some Jeff Goldblum-y things, and it's cool.
To be fair, it's never bad when you get Jeff Goldblum.
Well, no, of course not. No, he was the best part about that movie.
Yeah.
But
That they actually
send me up the river,
tried.
baby.
With this movie, they actually tried, and I guess it almost felt like having such big names was an afterthought to make sure people would like see this movie.
Yeah, the
you know?
characters were very like they were all archetypes and they felt very superficial in Hotel Artemis. But in this movie, they felt like characters.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Especially, you got a little of it throughout the movie, but especially towards the end, the character of the kid, the employee.
Yeah.
He's Bill Pullman's son. I forget his name.
I just had it up.
Something Pullman.
Louis Pullman.
Louis Pullman?
And I thought he was like Tom Holland for most of it, and then he would like slightly turn his face.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not Tom Holland.
No, you only get like the briefest glimpse of him like in the trailer, and at first I thought it was Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Because
He was so good.
He looked so fucking familiar, and I couldn't place it.
Tom Holland?
It was not Tom Holland, because I don't like Tom Holland.
Yeah, he doesn't like Tom Holland. Yeah, we've gone over this.
It's fine. He's okay.
So you've seen him in something before?
No, I think so. I looked
he
at
just has
his other credits, and I just
He just has a
fucking
face.
place it. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I had really high hopes for Dakota Johnson because I can't stand her.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't like 50 Shades. I only saw like the first movie, but like her, she's just like that face that bugs me. And I'm like, I know you're the kid in high school who was like, I love everyone. And then you turned around and you're like, I hate that skin. Like, I just feel like she's that person. But
were you like that in high school?
Oh, I just hated everyone.
Oh, yeah, me too. But
I'm really excited for Suspiria. So this was like a test for me. And I think she was awesome in this movie.
She was. I liked her very much. She didn't...
Yeah.
I didn't know she was in Suspiria.
She's the main of Suspiria.
I
She's
still
going
don't
to
know
be.
what the fuck Suspiria is about.
You'll see. Maybe.
At some point.
At some point. And also, Cynthia Erivo? Who was Darlene, who is like probably the smallest name of this movie, was fabulous.
Yeah. She the singer?
Yes.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Fabulous.
Why
yeah.
does she not even have a thumbnail?
Because she's like the
She,
tiniest. She's one of the tiniest names. There's a
she's
few
not a-
people. So
or a
her,
big name.
Louis Pullman, and Kaylee
Cool.
Benny, who played Dakota Johnson's sister. They're all like really
Oh, yeah.
small names, but they held their own next to these giant names.
Yeah.
The kid seemed spacey, but I think she was supposed to.
She was supposed to be, because she was
Yeah.
supposed to be the Squeaky of Manson.
Yeah.
I
Like the,
don't know a lot about Manson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just
I
know
kind
the
of just
gist.
said it.
well, like he had well, has. No, he still does.
I know he
Manson?
had like
followers that are...
he
Yeah.
had groupies. He never technically killed anyone. All that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his people were devoted and like they
But,
were.
like,
He was
she's
basically Jesus to
terrifying.
them, and yeah.
Yeah, this actress was terrifying. Like, she, like, you, like, saw her and you're like, this kid's, like, 15, and then she just was acting. And I'm like, you are probably the scariest person in this movie. When you think about it.
Any kid is going to end up being
How old is
creepier than
she?
adults.
Yeah, I'm gonna look
Yeah,
her
pretty
up,
much.
because I actually don't know how old she is.
Because kids are just fucking eerie.
Yeah,
That's
they are.
true.
You ever watch Village of the Damned? Or Children of the Damned?
No, is that the one where they have their own village and they kill the adults?
They're all these kids with the same white hair.
Guys, she's 4'11".
Hey,
I
look
found
at
my
you.
sister.
All
She's
right.
4'11" and she's 21.
All right, so to wrap this all up, I really enjoyed it. It was a very entertaining, fun, character-driven crime film, and with great performances, and I really enjoyed the characters and everyone in it. And I mean, it is a bit been there, done that, and it's kind of reaching for Tarantino sometimes with some of the elements in it. But no, it does a very good job. So I would have to give it 7 Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead out of 10. Because this movie reminded me very much of like 90s crime films that all tried to be like Tarantino, and Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead is one of them, but I love that movie. So
Nice.
that's my rating.
I give it a 8 out of 10 times I caught myself staring at Chris Hemsworth's abs.
It's okay, I did it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, good. Sorry, Scotty.
No, you're fine. I think he was paid $1 million per ab.
I hope so. It was paid off.
Rating?
7 shattering double-sided mirrors.
Nice. We're a little behind in time here, so I'm going to skip the recommendations unless you guys have quick ones that you want to throw out.
I was struggling with it. And this is a very, very quick one, but I was thinking almost of, God, what's that movie we just saw? A Simple Favor for Bad Times at the El Royale.
Oh, okay.
Because it was fun, but it was like a mystery, and it was
Yes.
like very stylistic.
Mhm.
So that's a very off-the-cuff, surface-level recommendation.
Okay.
But it was good.
Nice. real quick, I would recommend The Raid 1 and 2 if you like action movies or martial arts movies. They are spectacular, and I rewatch them a couple times a year, back to back. So definitely check those out. And
They'll never see them.
you will.
He's better men than you have tried.
Yeah. And also, Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. Watch that. That's a fun crime film with a great cast. It's about these criminals. They're supposed to pull off a job. They botch the job, and now they all have signed their own death warrants. And so they're all, it's like all these characters just dealing with the fact that they're all probably going to get whacked. And yeah, it's about their camaraderie and how they're dealing with it. And it's very entertaining. So yeah, check those out. Movie news.
News from Planet X.
Movie news. The Haunting of Hill House just came out. Okay. We can blow through some of these. Quick. First one, and my favorite. Iron Fist has been canceled. Yay! I hated that show. I never even finished the first season.
Follow-up news, Disney said they might bring it back.
Was that real?
Yes, they did say they might pick it back up.
I can't have anything.
At least I've seen a couple articles saying that.
It's
okay.
I tried to get into that goddamn show. Like up until then, I had seen all of the. I had seen Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, all of them. I loved every single one of them. And Iron Fist, I tried 3 times to get through the first 3 episodes. Each one, like I get halfway through episode 1, I had to stop. And then I finished the rest of episode 1. I get halfway through episode 2. I had to stop, and then same with 3. And I just could not do it. I couldn't stand the show. And then I heard season 2 is actually much better than season 1.
But no one watched it.
Yeah, exactly. No one finished the first season, so nobody's going to tune into the second season. And he was a whiny little bitch in the Defenders, so who cares?
I couldn't do Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
was
that surprises
so
me.
excited, and I couldn't do it. And I'm like,
She's cunty.
I couldn't get past
Well, she's
because
supposed to be.
supposed to be angsty, but like she was just too cunny. But
Like,
I loved her in
cunny.
Breaking Cunty.
She's too cunning.
Shut up, cunty. But like I loved her in Breaking Bad. Her sister was my teacher in high school,
yeah.
and I remember my teacher was like, "Oh, my sister is like trying to be a celebrity," and it was her, and then she became this huge celebrity, and I loved her in Breaking Bad, but I just couldn't get used to it, and I think I just don't like Marvel. I just think that I don't like superheroes.
No, it's because the Netflix shows, by and large, aren't well done.
Oh, come on.
I've watched...
And David Tennant. Like, I love David Tennant.
And he's great in it.
Yeah,
and
but
Doctor Who, and I just
fucking
couldn't do it. I'm so sorry. I'm so mad at myself that I couldn't do it. I tried so hard.
You also said you had a really hard time separating Kristen Ritter from her Breaking Bad character.
That's true,
That's
yeah.
because she's not in the show long, but when she's in it, she fucking steals her scenes.
Yeah.
And Breaking Bad is, like, one of my favorite, like...
Same.
If I could only watch one show for the rest of my days, I would probably watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
It was
Great
Breaking
show.
Bad, now it's Haunting on Hill.
So now I just literally have to turn over and I just have to start watching.
I've gone through Breaking Bad for like cover to cover 3 times.
Oh, same. I've
So
watched it multiple times. You have the
And I'm
set.
Yeah,
of, like,
I have the barrel over
That's
there
so
with the
cool.
this one. I haven't shown you that, have I?
No, because
He
I was
has a
gonna buy
barrel.
it. But
Oh.
No, he has the barrel.
Yeah, it's the money, the
It's
yeah,
under Mario.
barrel that he buries his money in.
and bodies, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Spoilers.
oh yeah, Heisenberg becomes a murderer at some point.
people die in Breaking Bad. What? But
Drug
yeah.
dealing is kind of dangerous.
No.
But anyway.
But yeah, Iron Fist canceled. I am happy about that because it gives more time to shows that I give a shit about.
I'm sorry I talked over you when I started talking about David Tennant. You were talking and then I was like, David Tennant! And I'm sorry, Tyler.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the Marvel Netflix shows kind of by and large suck.
Oh, I totally disagree.
I've watched Daredevil 1, Daredevil 2, and season 1 of Jessica Jones, and from there I just stopped because I was like, I don't give a fuck about anyone besides Daredevil, and maybe Punisher. It's the fact that they make all their shit an hour long and they can't hold my attention.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I kept zoning out of Jessica Jones.
Oh God, you guys are killing
I've made it through Jessica Jones, but it took me like a month because every single episode is a fucking slog.
I totally disagree.
Agree.
I love
I agree
Jessica
with
Jones,
Tyler
but
this time. This is very rare, I feel like.
That's fine. That's
High
fair enough.
five.
Fair enough.
Woo! Friendship.
Fair enough.
Roommates.
Daredevil season 3 is coming out soon, and I'm really excited. I'll have you know.
It had Bullseye, the same guy as the
Yeah.
fucking Ben Affleck movie.
No,
Oh, you forgot about that?
no, I didn't. No, it adapted from the same character, but very different.
Nope.
No, if he's not flicking peanuts into old ladies' mouths, I'm gonna be very
I
upset.
thought you said penis.
Wait, flicking them? like
Yeah, you remember the scene in Daredevil?
Open wide, bitch.
The scene in Daredevil when he's on the plane and there's like an old woman
no,
sleeping
but
next to him.
flicking penis into their
Peanuts, not penises. Peanuts. She's
I
snoring
hope-
and he flicks it because he never misses. So he
I
like
hope people I love never listen to this. They don't hear me just talking about penises and people's mouths.
it's okay. They'll just hear you interrupt me all the time. That's all right.
You interrupt me!
It's okay. I
Dick.
found out my brother watched us or listened to us.
Yeah.
He found out.
Shout out. Do a shout out.
Hi, Ryan.
Shout out to Ryan!
He probably won't listen to this one, so.
Oh, okay.
Bye, Ryan.
So yeah, Iron Fist canceled. Anyway, do you want to talk about the Aladdin teaser trailer at all? Is there anything to say?
No, because they didn't fucking show anything.
No, exactly.
And I know it's
3/4 of
supposed to be a teaser, but
No.
like it still wasn't even a teaser.
It's not a teaser if 3/4 of your fucking teaser is concept art, which is taken
That's
from the
true.
original fucking thing.
It looked
true.
like
No, straight up, it is taken. It's the same genie effect.
yeah. It looked like the intro for an Aladdin video game.
Yeah.
Like the opening cinematic that
And
plays when you
no.
first start up a game. Like that's
I
what it
didn't
seems
even
like.
realize that Aladdin was coming out because
Mhm.
like I'm so excited for
I'm more excited for the Lion King.
Yeah, and then there's
That's
another one coming out too, isn't it? No, but
I-
still,
yeah.
new Lion King
No,
movie.
but I mean they're advertising it as the live action
Yeah.
Lion
But
King.
it's going to be completely
know.
digital, so
Yeah,
it's not really live
totally.
action.
It's like saying
But still.
Roger Rabbit's live action.
Well, it's more live action.
It's a live action hybrid, but saying it's live action is disingenuous.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Jungle Book was barely live action. It had a kid in it.
Yeah.
Technically, it's live action.
But if the majority of your movie is filmed on a set that's entirely green screen,
Yeah.
it's not live action.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's slightly more real.
Yeah, but
Next news article. So they're trying to get James Gunn to do Suicide Squad 2.
and he will
Good.
because it's literally just Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, pretty much. Because the first one was trying to be what Guardians was, and now that James Gunn.
All the way down to fitting in the music, kind of with the plot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
All I care about is Margot Robbie. That's
She
it.
won't be in it because part of the things they're trying to do is just totally reset it.
They are. It's not a sequel. They're just doing like a different Suicide Squad. But
Look at my face.
But people, but like most people liked her as Harley Quinn, and they're banking on her pretty hard for their future movies. So I can imagine her being the only one returning.
But that's gonna confuse the fuck out of people. If it's
DC
not a
is
sequel.
beyond that now. They're confused. They're like, just they show up to work every day like, all right, I got 50 ideas. Like, ah! Toss them in the air. Everybody catch one.
No, it's I've got 50 ideas, and then one of them comes out, and they burn the 50 ideas and grab 50 new.
Yeah, that's. And then every time a new movie comes out, they're like, all right, clear the table. All right, new ideas. What do you got? Nobody liked it.
Because they already
But-
said they had. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, because I'm trying to formulate
I was just
how
gonna
to put
say.
it.
Well, first they had Shazam, and they were supposed to have Black Adam with Dwayne Johnson.
Mhm.
They were going to introduce Black Adam in Shazam, and they're like, nah, Shazam needs to be his own thing. Now Black Adam needs to have his own movie.
Yeah.
And then they were like, Black Adam for Suicide Squad 2. And now they're like, no, Suicide Squad 2 is not happening. Now it's Suicide Squad kind of sort of remake, but not really, because we're probably still going to have some of the cast that worked.
Yeah. So is this supposed to be a sequel with a new cast, like? As in, like, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, new movie is supposed to be like a sequel, but it's not a sequel.
No, that's a sequel.
It's
remember
based
it's
on
like-
the book
Am
sequel.
I making sense?
That's based on
Yeah.
the book sequel. Well, it's the third sequel to the first book.
Yeah, but then
And
is
it's-
Suicide Squad supposed to be a sequel, or is it supposed to be just a second DC
It's just going to be
movie?
another DC Suicide Squad movie.
But
Apparently,
they just did that.
I know, but
But they're hoping you forgot about that.
The fuck, bro?
Suicide Squad did really well business wise, and they want to make another one. But it did really well. Box office,
Oh,
it did extremely well, and but like
I
most
actually
people,
liked that movie.
oh god,
Fuck all.
I'm not gonna get into this. This is a
No,
whole,
it wasn't good.
No.
but Margot Robbie's hot as fuck.
That's true. What's better?
she was a
All
good
right?
Harley Quinn.
What's better, Suicide Squad or The Last Jedi?
Suicide Squad, no doubt.
Oh no, guys.
Shut up! I hate you.
Dude,
Me?
Suicide Squad at least has, like, it's edited colorfully, so I'm looking at shit. Last Jedi
I didn't
spent
see
the whole
Suicide
time
Squad.
confused.
Hi. Yeah. Well, now she's coming out.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just
It's okay.
couldn't find her.
It's okay. Yep.
I'm around the store.
Okay.
Bye, Scott's mom.
Behind her.
Okay, what were we talking about?
Suicide
Oh, the editing. By far the worst part about the movie.
Oh no, it's shitty.
Yeah.
But it's colorful.
Well,
Look, I'm like a toddler. If you shake keys in front of me,
I know.
I'm probably gonna clap.
It was editing for the ADD crowd. Like it's.
I've got bad news for you. The majority of the population is the ADD crowd.
Oh, I know. That's what happens when you get a trailer company to edit your movie.
No, not a trailer company. 2 trailer companies.
Oh my gosh.
Don't
I didn't
mind
see
me.
Suicide Squad, so I feel like I can't comment.
There's one cut, then they hired an ad firm or an ad agency to cut a second one, and they screened that for people, and everyone said that was shitty, so they got a second one to cut that one.
And they combined
Oh my
them
God.
from what I heard.
That's the third cut.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's why they introduced all the characters like 3 times.
Yeah, that's because originally the movie was shot and cut and ready to go, and then the trailers started coming out, and they had like Queen and Ballroom Blitz like in the trailer. People loved those trailers, so
Yes.
Warner Brothers, reactionaries that they are, decided like, oh shit, they love these trailers. And the movie is nothing like these trailers. Let's get these trailer companies to edit versions of the movie more like the trailers.
So, like, the majority of the movie has, like, a pop soundtrack.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
the first like 10 minutes, it's like 10 different songs.
It's, like, 20
Like,
minutes.
it's
Because that's...
ridiculous.
The first 20 minutes is them introducing the characters, and all of them are, like, a music video.
Yeah, and every song is so on the nose. And like,
Like
what
with
was
Harley
it? These
Quinn's.
boots are made for walking, or like Harley Quinn's song or something.
Harley
Or no,
Quinn's
you don't own me. That's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like they all had very like on the nose song choices and it's just constant cutting, and it felt like they were trying to be like Guardians.
I took Tyler's yo-yo. He plays with this yo-yo every single episode, and
Yeah,
I
you
took
are derailing.
it. Am
Stop.
I?
Stop.
No.
You're derailing from
Okay.
You
Suicide
don't
Squad.
own me.
Yeah, my bad. Okay.
You don't own
All
me.
right. Next article.
Copyright.
Pet Cemetery trailer came out.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
I'm all about it.
I didn't watch it.
Have you seen the original Pet Cemetery?
That's part of the reason I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
It's so good. I'm all
Well,
about it.
You made it sound like it was fucking awful.
I did.
I think you said it was like the first time Cemetery is terrible.
But in the
Oh.
best way.
It's just not very good. In my opinion, it's not very good.
We're
I
going to
don't
see
like
the
that
worst
much.
of the worst in like an hour. So
It so that the new one is probably going to be a step up. The only thing is I loved Fred Gwynn who played the
The old man.
Herman Munster on the Munsters, and the judge in My Cousin Vinny.
Mike Constantini.
Yes, he played the neighbor in Pet Cemetery. You know
I remember
that
him.
that cemetery up the road.
Yeah.
That New England accent. He's been replaced by John Lithgow, and I fucking love John Lithgow
me
from
too.
Third Rock from the Sun and everything. But he's not doing that accent, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But it looks
it looks
like
good.
a slick, scary adaptation of the remake
I
of the
don't
movie.
know.
I'm not all that excited about it because I've seen it, and I think if you are going to remake something, you should remake something that wasn't done very well the first time, and improve upon it. But I don't know. I just don't care all that much.
I'm excited because I loved Pet Cemetery and
Mhm.
I don't know, I just love that concept, and
Yeah,
the original movie isn't great, but we had so much fun watching it.
it's entertaining.
Yeah, so don't have the highest hopes for this because I still want it to
Mhm.
be kind of
And it's got a creepy cat.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the masks thing.
Mhm.
I think that's probably too on the
That's
nose.
something that was in the original
Oh, really?
novel, but they it looks like they may have expanded it for the movie because back in the day when the kids would have like a funeral march
Yeah,
for their
that's
pets,
that's
and they
creepy.
would wear like masks and costumes and shit. But it looks like that might have been expanded in the new movie. But yeah, you were gonna say something?
Nope, going back to Haunting of Hill House. Second episode.
Well, we are now the Haunting of Hill House podcast. I'm
Oh.
dropping the title. It came from Theater 7.
Until
It
I
came
go
from
through
Hill
it,
House.
It came from Hill House.
until I go through it like 3 times, I'm going to be on this shit. Like I'm looking at posters for the new house.
Really?
God, I gotta get through it. And final article here. Have you guys seen World War Z?
No.
Yeah, I heard about Apparently World War Z was done by the same guy who did Mindhunters. And, like...
Well, so the first World War Z was done by a guy named Mark Forster,
That
who
sounds
did,
familiar.
like, Monsters Ball and Quantum of Solace. So the first World War Z, it was fine. Considering the production problems it had, it turned out a lot better than I thought it would. But it was fine. But David Fincher, who was responsible for Mindhunters and Seven and Alien 3 and Social Network, and
You can't
Growth of
put
Dragon
Alien
Tattoo.
3 on him.
I like Alien 3, so I'm not going to give that.
Including the original cut?
No, not the original cut.
Yeah.
The assembly cut, with all the stuff that they cut out, added back in, I enjoy very much.
Most people, like, the layman has not seen the assembly cut. They've
Right,
seen
yeah.
the-
Most people who have seen all the Alien movies hate Alien 3, the theatrical cut, but the assembly cut is
Except for
excellent. Yes, well, the assembly cut. Theatrical cut sucks.
What's the difference?
Anyway,
A lot.
they
like
changed an entire alien species, basically.
yeah, and there's like a whole hour of like added footage.
Interesting.
But anyway, David Fincher apparently is going to do World War Z 2, which
But
is really strange but really awesome.
That was the interesting thing that I heard, because I was talking to Mike earlier,
Mhm.
and he's like, yeah, apparently David Fincher is, like, stopping World War Z 2 right now so that he can focus on Mindhunters, and, like, he's pulling away from other shit so he can focus on that.
Yeah, because it was said before that he was going to do World War Z 2, but then he dropped that so he could continue Mindhunters, and I guess Mindhunters Season 2 is nearly done, so apparently he's back on for World War Z 2. It'll be I believe it's his first sequel since Alien 3.
World War Z 1 is fucking awful.
I don't think it's that bad.
Dude, that's the worst cure for a disease I've ever fucking heard of. You don't remember?
I remember the end of the movie
Where
he drinks Pepsi and everything's okay.
yeah,
Like
Kelsey, have you
that
seen it?
Jenner commercial?
pretty much,
I don't know.
no.
Kylie Jenner commercial?
The final shots of the movie is basically Brad Pitt, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt infects himself with a deadly disease, so the zombies ignore him. So he just immediately walks to a Pepsi machine, gets a Pepsi, drinks it, and then walks out free.
I hate
And then
Brad
all
Pitt.
the zombies like run past him then, and it's supposed to be like but it's such a shoehorned in moment because it's like surviving the zombie apocalypse with Pepsi, and and they all just run. It was such a
It's the fucking idea is stupid. They'll ignore you if you have a deadly disease.
it was different.
Like the zombies are just like, he's gonna die anyway. Let's just let him live it out, I guess.
It's in a movie about a worldwide zombie apocalypse starring Brad Pitt as the hero, as Brad Pitt, pretty much. I could buy it.
With the shittiest wig ever.
Brad Pitt
No, that's his
is
actual hair.
only-
He had a weird ass haircut in that movie. And he I feel like he barely spoke. I can barely remember a single line he had in that movie. It was just kind of like, all right, we got this zombie movie. We digitally inserted Brad Pitt into it, so fucking watch it now. And
All that I remember from it, besides the ending, is just they showed it the King of Prussia,
oh yeah, that's right.
and
Yeah.
Brad Pitt was there.
Yeah. Yeah, the only real things I remember are the ending, which I thought was
Oh, and the
suitably
wall.
tense. Yeah, the wall. Yeah, how like the zombies, they're like a hive mind, and they all like climb all over each other.
The zombies work together to make a ladder. out of
Yeah,
each
pretty
other.
much. But that's like what insects do that though, and that's I understood. It was an interesting twist on what we're used to in zombie movies, and it was a spectacle thing. It's definitely a dumb movie, but I thought it was well made dumbness. It was entertaining.
I've also just heard it has nothing to do with the source material, like, at all.
Yeah, no, not like the if you're going to adapt the book, it really should just be the audiobook of it, because it's all like testimonials of people who
So an
survived.
anthology.
Yeah,
You could do an anthology. on
yeah,
that.
like a TV series even. Like yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
only
so David
thing-
Fincher's doing it, so I'm unreasonably excited now. As long as they let him do what he wants to do.
Yeah, the only things I like Brad Pitt in are Inglourious Basterds, 12 Monkeys, and Seven, and I think that's it.
My mom was in 12 Monkeys.
What?
What?
She was an extra in the airport scene.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
She constantly tells me, she's like, you can't even see me in the shot, but I made like $200 when I met Brad Pitt.
That's
That's
rad.
awesome.
Yeah, I think that's the only
So
thing I
cool.
like actually really enjoy him in.
I've
Is
never
12
seen it.
Monkeys. It's so good.
12 Monkeys?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
Never
so
seen Glorious
good.
Bastards or 12
What?
Monkeys. I wasn't allowed to watch shit growing up.
Me neither.
Fair enough.
And Scott changed that for me.
Yeah, I love him in 12 Monkeys, Glorious Bastards, Fight Club.
I
He's
never
great
saw
in. Most
Fight
people
Club.
have seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen Fight Club.
That's one of those movies. As soon as it's over, I've like restarted it immediately and watched through it again. That was back when I had time to do that.
I've got time now.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the news, and that's the episode, I guess. Thank you for listening to this episode of It Came from Theater 7. Join us next week where we will be reviewing fucking Halloween 2, but not 2. Halloween. The new Halloween comes out.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Halloween H2O or
H40.
Yeah. H2.0.
Yeah. I am incredibly excited about this movie. I can barely sit still.
I know nothing about the series. So.
Well, either Monday or Tuesday night, you need to be free so we can play it.
I'll let you know.
Because I'm planning on rewatching the new one right before the...
Can I?
rewatching the
I
old
want
one
to
right
join.
before the new
I
one.
want to join.
Okay.
Can I?
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
Okay, but only if you do the remake instead.
Get the fuck out.
I mean, okay, but we gotta go.
Episode's over. So yeah, I'll be reviewing Halloween, and I'm probably going to review a movie called Terrified. It's on Shudder.
Not Terrified.
No. I will probably watch it, but it's been out, so I can't review it.
I kind of read it.
I might talk about it. But yeah, Terrified, a new horror movie on Shudder that's getting a bit of buzz, and I'm super excited about it. And I might review First Man, the Ryan Gosling, Neil Armstrong movie.
That shit is dying hardcore.
Really?
In our theater.
Oh, okay.
Like
I
there
haven't paid
was
attention to the box office.
total of 20 tickets today for it. All
wow.
day.
Damn. So yeah, and by the way, new emails this week.
What the hell, Corey?
Yeah, dropping the ball, Corey. But if you have any questions you want us to answer on the episode, you can send us an email to itcamefromtheater7@gmail.com, and that is 7 spelled out SEVEN. Any kind of question you want to ask or feedback, whatever, send it to us. We'll probably read it on the air, and then we'll answer it.
Actually.
What?
Scott and I this is going to be very short, I promise. Scott and I had a discussion today where I need viewers to give us feedback. When a guy wears a leather thing on his wrist, is that called a leather cuff or is that called a leather bracelet?
That's a cuff.
It's a cuff. Thank you. Scott said it was a bracelet. I'm like, no, it's a
Could've
leather
just
cuff.
Googled this.
It's a leather cuff. I want people to write in.
I don't want to wait a week for...
Send us emails!
No, don't. Don't.
Is it a cuff or a bracelet?
Ignore that.
You're gonna get 20 emails. It's just like, it's totally a cuff.
It's a cuff. Bye.
Fuck you. All right, we'll see you. Shut up. All right. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys. Shalom, amigos. Say bye. Bye. Get the fuck off.